Fans, please remember that baseballs can leap the playing field at high rates of speed. We ask that you always keep your eyes on the ball for your safety. All baseballs are the property of the Toronto Maple Leafs and Inter-County Baseball League, so we also ask that you return any baseball that goes out of play directly to either of the dugouts or the raffle tent down the left field line. Thank you. Now batting the second baseman, number 20, Dawson Tweet.
Okay, here we go. Well, welcome to Dominico Field. It's a rainy Sunday afternoon here. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. Toronto Maple Leafs and Welland Jackfish. Angel Castro on the mound for the Maple Leafs. And here's his first pitch to Dawson Tweet. Zach, the Maple Leafs probably feeling a little bit better about themselves after the last two games.
Yeah, 2-game win streak, and it's a long weekend. Play 3 games in 3 days, and the Leafs trying to end it on a high note.
Tweet fouls this one off down the left field line. So this has been a long-awaited return of Angel Castro to the Maple Leafs. We saw him warming up in the bullpen in that game against the Hamilton Cardinals, and now finally the Maple Leafs seeing him on the mound. He's been effective for the Maple Leafs in the past, helped them a lot on their way to an IBL championship run back in 2021.
This is a pitcher with tons of experience. You look at just his reference page, it dates all the way back to 2006.
Here's a little flare. Jose Vinicio going out, and he reaches out and makes the catch. That retires Dawson Tweet. Good play by Jose Vinicio. Not easy looking up into that rainy sky here at Dominico Field.
You mentioned it, the rainy sky. It's going to be off and on almost all day here, so it'll be interesting to see how these players kind of fare with these kind of elements.
Brandon Hupe now the batter for the Welland Jackfish. Maple Leafs are coming off an 8-7 victory where they had to come back in the 9th against the Hamilton Cardinals on Friday and then beat the Guelph Royals on Saturday, and now their third game in 3 days is not an easy one. They played the Welland Jackfish.
Yeah, that game yesterday against the Royals, the fireworks were kind of going off there in that 7th inning, a lot happening.
Yeah.
But the Maple Leafs stayed composed. They were only up by 2 at that point, and then they kind of just carried on, added more on, ended up winning.
The 2-0 pitch, this one is demolished to left field, and it is gone. Brandon Hupe, the home run, and it's 1-0 Welland.
Hupe wasting no time whatsoever, saw that high fastball and just kind of rode it all the way over that left field wall.
That's 2 home runs on the season now for Hupe. And the young kid at a North Delta, British Columbia is off to a good start with the Jackfish.
Moretto.
One thing to remember about this Jackfish team, last time they were here at Dominico Field, they didn't win, so kind of a little bit of a revenge game for them to come back in here.
6-4 the score last time Welland was here in Toronto.
back-to-back batters here that Castro started the count 0-2, or excuse me, 2-0.
Brendan Hupe hit a big home run against the London Majors a couple games ago for the Welland Jackfish. Ended up winning them the game as they took down London 6-5. It's the go-ahead home run here, and this one against Toronto. The Welland Jackfish know Angel Castro. They know he's going to go out and he's going to pump the strike zone. And they're swinging the bats early. Falls behind Steven Moretto here, who is off to a good start with the power numbers for the Jackfish this season. Already has 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. Here's the 3-1. And this one's hammered deep to left field. Is it gonna stay fair? And it is gone. The 4th home run of the season for Steven Moretto. And the Welland Jackfish take a 2-0 lead.
And that's just what's going to happen. You fall behind to 2 good hitters here in this Welland Jackfish lineup, and they waste no time. Castro fell behind 2-0 to Brandon Hupe, and then 3-1 to Moretto, and they both waste no time.
So Angel Castro back on the mound, takes a couple deep breaths, and now he has to face another tough hitter. This time it's a Ruddy and Robert Mullen. Mullen takes ball 1. Robert Mullen off to a great start to the season, hitting .310. Also had an excellent game against the Kitchener Panthers last time out. Mullen hits one on the ground foul, just to the right of John Salazzo at third base. Was 3 for 5. Drove in 3 runs and hit a homer against Kitchener. That was part of the 11-5 win that Welland had in yesterday's contest. Mullen accidentally fouls it off on a check swing.
Yeah, Mullen, one of 5 players in this Welland lineup to have played in every single game so far this year. And like you said, he's had a good start. That .310 batting average. He has 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles, 1 homer, and then the 6 RBIs.
Maple Leafs have Ryan Dos Santos, Marcus Connect, and Chris Robinson in the outfield, all playing very deep, or at least Dos Santos and Connect playing deep against Robert Mullen. Mullen takes low and inside, ball 2. And then John Salazzo is at third base for the Leafs, Jose Vinicio, Charlie Towers, and Jordan Castaldo at first. The 2-2. Mullen steps out. Justin Mara doing the catching for Angel Castro today. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second out of the inning comes via the strikeout for Angel Castro, settles things down after the back-to-back home runs.
And again, like I mentioned, Angel Castro, this is a guy with tons of experience. So yes, you give up those 2 home runs early on, but like you mentioned before, he took a breath, took his time, got recentered, and that's a great job to get right back in to this game with a strikeout.
Mateo Porcelado off to a great start with the Welland Jackfish.
Porcelado, I mean, he's another one of those players that have played in every single game, but he's been electrifying so far, to say the least. When you look at the numbers across the board, 405 batting average, 15 hits, triple, 4 doubles, and a home run.
Takes low and maybe a bit inside. So this is what we've seen from Mateo Porcelado this season. OPS and ungodly numbers, over 1,000.
Yeah, it's just been impressive to see what he's been able to do. Putting together a really great start to his campaign.
And here's a line drive up the middle, and that 450 batting average will climb. He's on board with a single. We didn't see Angel Castro give up a lot of home runs for the Maple Leafs in a short tenure that he was with the team back in 2021. He did get himself into jams a lot, but he had a knack of getting out of them. A lot of times we saw Angel Castro with bases loaded and 1 out or nobody outs. He was able to get out of the inning, but it was because he limited the power numbers really well from the opposition. Pickoff move to first base. Porcelato is back in.
And again, like you said, Castro just had tons of experience. He understands, he's able to work out of difficult situations, and obviously Welland, they're just an elite team.
This one's popped up. Chris Robinson camped under it. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. But the Welland Jackfish get back-to-back runs from Brandon Hupe and Steven Moretto and lead 2-0 over the Maple Leafs.
Fans.
Jordan Castaldo is going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs, and this is kind of unfamiliar territory for Castaldo. We saw it back in the Maple Leafs playoff run back in 2022 where they put Jordan Castaldo up in the leadoff spot for a couple of games, although it's uncharted territory this season. The last 3 games, Jordan Castaldo's been a leadoff spot in place of Jose Benicio, who's been struggling a bit, and he's been doing really well since being put up into that spot.
Yeah, Castaldo is just one of those guys that is able to work counts so well, get on base, and it's just the mentality of just pass the torch to the hitters behind you because you know you have a really good lineup. It was just more so you just got to get people on base for those good hitters to come up.
Castaldo behind in the count 0-2. Takes inside. The pitcher for the Welland Jackfish is a guy making his Intercounty Baseball League debut in Brandon Markland out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Markland was very briefly in 2019 affiliated with the Kansas City Royals organization, played some A-ball, but most recently has played with Quebec in the Frontier League, and that's this season in 2024. The numbers look really good for Markland pitching with Quebec, but he walked a lot of batters. 8 walks over his 4 2/3 innings with the Capitals. Castaldo fouls this one off down the left side.
You said he had the trouble with the walking players. Well, how about having a guy that is pretty good at drawing those walks to be the first batter you face off here?
Did do a good job getting out of damage, did not give up an earned run in the Frontier League this season. The 2-2, this one's hammered to center field, and the catch is made. Jordan Castaldo with a sharp line out to Brandon Hupe, who tracks it down 1 away.
Pitcher number 9, Justin Mora.
Yeah, Jordan Castaldo got all of that. And partner, looking down at the consistency of what Castaldo has done over his IBL career, currently his batting average sitting at 295. Last time he batted under 300 was back in 2012. You have, and that's, again, like you mentioned, a great bat to have in the leadoff spot.
The crazy thing is you almost can count playoffs too. There's only a couple of them in there in a short sample size.
Yeah, you look in the playoffs. I mean, it was the 2018 playoffs with the Barrie Baycats, and he batted 292.
What did he do the playoffs before that?
Playoffs before that, 400, 467. And if you're curious, playoffs before that, 449.
Yeah. So Justin Mara at the plate, and just like Jordan Castaldo, he's in a hole, 0-2. Pitch from Markland. That one's up and away. Brandon Markland slipped off the mound as he released that baseball.
Since the calendar turned to June, the Maple Leafs bats and pitching, it seems like they've also turned. They kind of forgot the woes of May and the very slow start that they had, and they've picked things up a little bit, and they look to continue that trend today.
2-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Robert Mullen. That's a strikeout for Brandon Markland. And mark that down. It is his first K in the Intercounty baseball.
Yeah, nice pitch to get the catcher, Justin Mara.
So Marcus Connect got off to a very slow start to this season, but earned the Twitter player of the game on the Maple Leaf social media last time out. That was against the Guelph Royals. Also had an excellent game, driving in some big runs against the Hamilton Cardinals, and it feels like Marcus Connect is starting to come around just a little bit.
Yeah, you mentioned it, the 2 wins. He batted 500 in both of them. I mean, he went 3 for 6 against Hamilton, and they went 2 for 4 against Guelph. 3 RBIs in that span, and like you said, I think it seems like the swing and the bat, it's finally coming around here for Connect.
Marcus Connect fouls it off. Marcus Connect has never been a guy who has had trouble reaching the right field fence here at Dominico Field. Has tremendous power, but also not afraid to hit the ball all over the field. His last full season with the Maple Leafs hit .343. Now he's going to sprint to first base, and he's going to be safe. Robert Mullen will not have a play. That's a strikeout, and he reaches first base on the wild pitch. So Connect is aboard, and maybe a little bit of life here for the Maple Leafs. It's going to bring John
Third baseman, number 17, Jonathan Salazzo.
Salazzo's had a great start to the season, hitting .314, second best batting average on the Maple Leafs. Second only to Brian Dos Santos, who's been tearing it up at the plate as well. He's on deck. Salazzo trying to keep the line moving here in the first inning for the Maple Leafs, who trailed 2-0 to Welland. Salazzo checks his swing. Actually, he doesn't, says the second base umpire.
Yeah, a little bit surprising. Thought he held it back, but hey, I mean, we have the height view. Might have not seen what the second base umpire has seen.
Kind of looks like the second base umpire has his view obstructed by Markland on the mound as well when he comes off. Just watch when he throws the pitch. Here's the 0-1. Salazzo checks his swing this time.
I see what you mean. Yeah, when Markland's kind of falling off, you can kind of see him a little bit. He kind of drifts into the path of the umpire, but
maybe not. Either way, second base.
Still very difficult to call from second base.
Is not as good a vantage point than being down either of the lines, that's for sure. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Salazzo. That one catches the outside corner. It's 1-2. And if you hear a little bit more shouting from the Maple Leafs dugout now, that's most likely Angel Castro. He will be shouting for the dugout when he's not pitching, and when he is pitching, it's almost even more.
Yeah, you can, if you tune into the games yesterday, you can see Castro. He was getting energized the entire game long.
That one just misses low. Robert Mullen was heading back to the dugout.
The entire Welland Jackfish team was heading back to the dugout. They all thought that was paint on the outside half, but home plate umpire says otherwise.
So it's 2-2 pitch here to Salazzo. And that one misses up and away. Good eye there by John Salazzo as he works the count to 3-2.
Connect will be off on the pitch here, and how about this? Salazzo, again, you talked about his hot start to the season. Well, another good at-bat being put up right here.
Marcus Connect on the move. The pitch to Salazzo, up and away, ball 4. So John Salazzo battles through a bit of controversy with the check swing earlier in the at-bat, and it's the walk. And now Ryan Dos Santos, who leads the team with a .316 batting average, has a chance to drive in Marcus Connect.
Not only is his bat working well with the hits, but he's also drawn a lot of walks. 10 walks, 14 strikeouts. He's seeing the ball very well at the plate right now. Last game out, he had 3 walks.
Yeah, he didn't get a hit, though, so the batting average actually went down.
Just shows how well of a start to the season he's having.
Ryan Dos Santos has an OPS of .932. Finding some gaps. He has a home run that he hit here at Dominico Field, right over that big wall and left. Takes outside. Counts now 1-1. Brandon Markland started out playing college baseball in 2017, did that for 3 years, and has played independent baseball the last 2 seasons, most recently with Quebec. Also made a stop with the Winnipeg Golden Eyes last season. One and 2 on DeSantos. And that one misses low. It's 3-1.
Very patient at the plate right now is Dos Santos. And again, it just seems that this Leafs team has the mentality of just keep passing the torch down.
On deck is Cole Murchison looking for his first at-bat at Dominico Field. Santos takes inside ball 4, and Murchison will get that at-bat. This is a guy that the Maple Leafs are very excited about. One of the college guys. I talked to Jeff Lounsbury. He was excited about the power ability of Cole Murchison. Murchison also familiar with Rob Butler. He played for him when he was younger.
And how about this for a first at bat at Dominico Field? Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
And he takes low and outside ball 1. Boy, Brandon Markland has been all around the strike zone, but he's just not catching the corner.
And you talked about his issue with the walk batters. And again, we're kind of seeing it on display here early on.
Murchison takes a strike. It's 1-1. Butler coached Cole Murchison when he was a kid playing in the Oshawa area. Here's the 1-1. That one misses inside. There's also a name that many might be familiar with that played with Murchison on that team. It was Tyler Black, who made an appearance in the major leagues this season. In the Milwaukee organization. Murchison hits a high chopper up the middle, and the play is made at second base by Dawson Tweet. That will get the Welland Jackfish out of the inning. Brandon Markland got the first 2 batters quickly on a line out and a strikeout, then loaded the bases with some walks. And the Maple Leafs still trail 2-0. to the Welland Jackfish. We'll be right back. Back here at Dominico Field, we take a look at some of the numbers between these two teams, and glaringly obvious, the Welland Jackfish offense has been off to a great start. The defense, Zach, for the Maple Leafs is what's been falling behind just a bit.
Yeah, and you, like you said, just looking at those numbers, I mean, that's kind of really what's been propelling Welland into the top side of the standings. They're sitting 7-3, and then the run differential is plus 19. They are having a phenomenal start to the season with these bats.
Just to give you an update on the weather here at Dominico Field, the rain has stopped. There's still there's a bit of rain, I guess. It's definitely died down. There's a stiff wind blowing from right field to left field. And it's not particularly warm either.
No, good old windy summer day.
Caleb Fursteak is at the plate for the Jackfish. Takes high 2-2 now from Angel Castro. Castro gave up a pair of home runs in the first inning, back-to-back. Right, and Hupe started it off, and then Steven Moretto added one as well. And there's a swing and a miss by Caleb Fursteak, strike 3.
Good job by Castro to come out here in the second inning, get that first batter down relatively quickly. Now just working on the bottom half here.
Jake Harford warming up at the bullpen for the Jackfish. Might mean that Brandon Markland was never intended to go deep into the ball game. I mean, he hasn't started a game in a while. This one's hit on the ground. Jose Vinicio comes over, and he can't make the backhand play. It's going to roll into the outfield, and that'll probably go as an infield hit.
Gom running up the first baseline, good speed, and even if Vinicio grabbed that one, it would have been a close play. But yeah, like you said, pretty sure that'll be marked down as an infield hit.
Tyson Gom has had just 5 at-bats this season. All of them came over the weekend. Brings up Ethan Hunt. Hunt's hitting .324 this season for the Jackfish. Although you'll find by the end of the season that you'll be hard-pressed to find a Welland Jackfish that isn't hitting over 300. Here's the 0-1 to Hunt. That one misses inside. And Castro trying to induce a ground ball here from Ethan Hunt, although they'll have to turn it quickly as Hunt has excellent speed.
Yeah, this bottom half of the Welland Jackfish lineup, relatively, like you said, good speed. Top half, a lot of power.
That's a swing and a miss. Now 0-2. Jake Harford is warming up in the bullpen for the Welland Jackfish. Hasn't pitched since May 30th. So they might just be looking to get him a little bit of action. He's predominantly been a starter for the Jackfish in the past. That pitch is up and away, goes to the backstop. That slipped out of the hand of Angel Castro. That's going to allow Tyson Gom to advance an extra 90 feet and now put himself into scoring position.
Yeah, talked about the elements out here today. Rain falling. It is relatively soft falling, but still the ball in the hand of the pitcher, it could get a little bit slippery, and we just saw it in the first case right there.
Yeah, and the rain has picked up again here at Dominico Field. The wind has died down a bit. Here's the 2-2 to Hunt. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Angel Castro didn't only get Ethan Hunt at the plate swinging there, he also deked out the runner Tyson Gom, who started running back to second base, thinking it was a pickoff move. Instead, Angel Castro went to the plate. And there was a lot of moving parts, but crafty play from Castro. So it's hit to left field and in foul territory. The wind has now shifted. It's blowing straight out to center field at Dominico Field now. So Dawson Tweet has the wind in his favor. And Tweet takes a strike over the outside corner. Counts now 0-2.
Yeah, rain falling all over. I mean, it started out coming from right field to left, now just going from home to center field with the wind change.
2-0 on the ground. Charlie Towers gobbles it up. Oh, no, that one popped out of the glove, and he flips to first. Not in time. Well, Charlie Towers looked like he had that one hit him in the heel of the glove. It rolled up his uniform and couldn't get a handle on it.
Tried to stick with it, and then by the time he got the hand to it and flipped it to Castaldo, Tweet was already across the bag.
It's probably a play that should be made there by Charlie Towers. It would have got Angel Castro out of the inning. Now he's going to have to get through one more batter to try and keep the Welland Jackfish scoreless in the second.
And it's a very dangerous batter, to say the least. Hit a home run last time up.
Brandon Hupe takes low, ball one.
What happened last time was Castro fell behind quickly, 2-1 to Hupe, came back with a fastball, and Hupe just took it way over the left field fence.
Runner goes, Hupe hits it on the ground to third. That's a fair ball, and it rolls down the line. One run comes in to score. Dawson Tweet is getting the wave, and he's going to come in to score. John Salazzo does a good job to cut that ball off. It took a funny hop off the dirt. But the Welland Jackfish take a 4-0 lead. And now the third RBI for Brandon Hupe.
Hupe just perfectly placing it right inside of that third base line. Really nothing Salazzo could have done. Did everything he could to make that stop, but right under the glove, and the good speed on the bases like we mentioned with Tyson Gom and Dawson Tweet able to go from first to home.
First baseman number 15, Steven Moretto.
So those were the pitchers that could come out of the bullpen for the Maple Leafs today, although the Maple Leafs are playing 3 games in 3 days, so there will be some tired arms down in that pen. That pitch is in the dirt. Justin Mara has no play to third base. Hupe moves up 90 feet. The rain is now pouring down at Dominico Field. And the umpires are going to talk about this. Imagine they come to the conclusion that it's raining, and yeah. They're also going to say, let's bring it in. So we will enter a rain delay here at Dominico Field. We'll keep you updated on social media and maybe in the comments section of the YouTube stream as well, unless we get blown away. In that case, we'll start a new stream and tweet out that link too. As of now, a rain delay here at Dominico Field, and we'll update you on where we're at. Well, back here at Dominico Field, Toronto Maple Leafs, Welland Jackfish trying to get a ball game in. It looks like crew is starting to do some work on the field, and hopefully we'll have some baseball for you pretty soon. While we're waiting, Toronto Maple Leafs had a big outing last game from Marek Deska, who's off to a bit of a slow start to the season. Came back and pitched excellent against the Guelph Royals. Maple Leafs ended up winning that game 6-1, and for Marek Deska, I mean, that's a big outing for him personally, but that was big for the Maple Leafs as well, helped them win 2 games in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the game, he had 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run on 5 hits, and 1 walk and 1 strikeout. I mean, that's just a great game to get out of Marek Deska, and like you said, it propelled them to that win. They ended up winning it at a total of 6-1. It was, I believe, it was 3-1 before the excitement that happened later half of the game. But yeah, Marek Deska had a fantastic start, and I mean, you know, if you can get a couple more of those from the starting pitchers on this pitching staff, it's going to go a long way for this Maple Leaf squad.
Maple Leafs are starting to get some offense as well, which has helped them out. 6 runs against the Guelph Royals. A big part of the offense this season, especially when the Leafs were struggling early on, has been this guy, Ryan Dos Santos, right? He has the big home run early in the season. That really gets him going, and he's continued the batting average. He's a guy he's no stranger hitting 300 in the Intercounty Baseball League, but this is a great start from Ryan Dos Santos, and especially when the other team when his own team was struggling, Ryan Dos Santos has been really good all season.
Yeah, he's been very consistent, and one thing that he's always been big on is just kind of having good at-bats, putting together a solid at-bat, whether it comes through of a hard hit or whether it comes through on a walk. He's always putting up big, long at-bats. You see it. He's one of the team leaders in walks. He has 10 walks on the season. And also, just with the hit department, he's sitting in second, just behind Castaldo.
Speaking of Jordan Castaldo, he's started to heat up a little bit recently as well. This is the last 2 games. Now, Jordan Castaldo got off to a very slow start with the bat. He was still taking some walks, but the batting average wasn't there. He's got it up close to 300 now, and that's in big part because he's hit 500 over the last 2 games. In his last 10 at-bats, he has 5 hits, 2 of them doubles. He continues to climb his way up the all-time leaderboard in IBL doubles, and he scored 3 runs as well. And a big part of that is because he's in the leadoff spot, and people are cashing him in. Yeah, and it's just Jordan Castaldo. That's what he's been over his entire IBL career, a guy that just gets on base. And I mean, when you talk about on-base merchants, I think the first name you got to look at is Jordan Castaldo. You talked about the slow start that he had to the season, but he's really picked it up, and he's turned things around. Like the walk totals, they were pretty low to start the season. His 8 walks and 9 strikeouts. He has seen the ball extremely well. Julian Valdez out of the bullpen for the Maple Leafs had a lot of walks early on in the season. Well, he's started to come around just a little bit, and you can see the comparison. This was last season to start the year. After his first 5 games, he was off to a rough start, walking a bunch of batters, had some strikeouts, but people were getting hits off him. We haven't seen a lot of teams get hits off of Julian Valdez this season. He has done a better job keeping the walks in check lately, and his stuff seems like it's a bit of a boost since last season. Yeah, and we always talk about it, and we've been talking about it for a couple of years now with Julian Valdez. It's just, you know, he needs to control his stuff. He has electrifying stuff. That fastball jumps out of his hand, and he has that great off speed as well. But it was more so, can he control it, and can he tone it down and tone down the walks? And when you look at what he's been able to do, 9 strikeouts to 8 walks, you can see it. It's in the ERA, almost down 2 whole runs. So if you can get this kind of consistency out of Valdez, that's massive going on throughout the rest of the season. Another guy that's been good in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs this season, Max Lanoux, right? Comes out of Queen's University. I don't know what the expectation is usually for OUA players, because it either goes really well or it doesn't go well at all, and they end up getting cut halfway through the season. Well, that's not the case for Max Lanoux. He came in, the resume, you know, he doesn't have that affiliate ball resume and, you know, played in the major league resume like we see with Angel Castro on the mound, but he has been effective this season. The sample size is starting to get pretty big as well. 7 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA is excellent. See those 9 walks there? 4 of them came in his very first outing in the Intercounty Baseball League, and he's been effective out of the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. Oh yeah, I mean, we talked about him when he was pitching here last time out. I believe it was against Welland. I could be mistaken though, but last time he pitched here at Dominico Field,
he has fantastic stuff. And that release point, how he throws, he comes straight over the top. I mentioned it on the broadcast, it's kind of like Ross Stripling-esque, where you come over top, and if you have a really good breaking ball, it is hard for those hitters to pick up that pitch. So if Lanoux can kind of continue to mix in that fastball and that breaking ball from that over-the-top release point, he's going to be a solid arm in this Maple Leafs bullpen.
Angel Castro warming up, and looks like he's starting to gear things up. Yeah, I just heard the one more from the home plate umpire, which means that we are going to get back underway here at Dominico Field. It was pouring rain for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then it really has calmed down, and it's barely raining at all here. I think it's just kind of spitting at the moment. There's still some heavy cloud cover, so we might be in for some more rain, but we're keeping our fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll bring you the rest of this ball game here on the Maple Leafs YouTube channel. So, with 2 outs in the top of the second inning, the Welland Jackfish have already cashed in 2 with a Brandon Hupe RBI double. And then Angel Castro looked like he had got out of the inning, but an error at second base by Charlie Towers extended things, and now it's Steven Moretto at the plate. And Angel Castro is trying to get out of it and get the Maple Leafs back in the batter's box.
And the Maple Leafs were close to tying this thing up. They had some very good at-bats in that first inning.
It may just take one pitch. This one's high in the air. Jose Vinicio back, and he makes the catch. You heard an audible yell there from Angel Castro, who runs on pure adrenaline, and he gets himself out of the inning. So we'll take a quick break. We're back underway here at Dominico Field, and the bottom of the second inning is upcoming. Well, Jose Vinicio is a guy that the Maple Leafs have come to rely on for his defense at shortstop and also with the bat. Although it has been a bit of a slow start for Jose Vinicio at the plate, these are the numbers after 11 games last season. He was hitting .304, just had 12 strikeouts, had cashed in some runs, even hitting at that leadoff spot. This has been a slower start for Jose Vinicio this season with the Maple Leafs, but you'd think with the resume Vinicio has, he's going to turn things around.
Yeah, and when you kind of look at the numbers, they're relatively not bad. It's just more so he's not really getting that lucky when it comes to getting some of these base hits. The walk total is skyrocketed higher than it was last year. The strikeouts, they're still going to be there for him, but they're not higher than they were last year. It's just kind of more so, he needs to kind of find these holes and rely on his speed a little bit more. We know how good he was and how important he is to this lineup to make it deeper, and once they get his bat going, I think that's when this Toronto team becomes even more scary because of how good of a player he is.
He had a career-high 27 stolen bases in his first season in the Intercounty Baseball League. That was back in 2022. In that season, the Maple Leafs scooped Jose Vinicio up after he was playing in the Boston Red Sox organization, got up as high as AA baseball. He has just great bat-to-ball skills. And Jose Vinicio is probably not going to hit 178 this season, but that's where he's at right now. So he's batting down the lineup in the 7th spot. Benicio takes strike one. He does have hits, though, in his last 2 games. Against Hamilton, he was great. He scored 4 times after going 3 for 5 and then was 1 for 5 in that game against the Guelph Royals that the Maple Leafs won 6-1.
He's also extremely efficient when he's on base. You talked about that Hamilton game. He scored 4 times. Well, he stole 3 bags as well.
Benicio takes inside, is now 2-1. Markland was great in the first inning. He got the first 2 outs quickly and then walked 2. Things got a bit hairy, but he did get out scoreless. Benicio takes outside, it's 3-1. So Jose Benicio now has 9 stolen bases on the season. And I guess we're getting close to a third of the way through the season. He's on pace to break that 27 stolen base mark that he had 2 years ago. And he hasn't been getting on base at nearly the same rate that we saw in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, in the first season he was here, 27, like you said, and then last year, 26. I mean, he is efficient on those base paths.
He will be on the base path. Takes outside, ball 4. That's the 3rd walk of the game for Markland.
Right fielder, number 21, Chris Robinson.
So this is Chris Robinson stepping to the plate. Most recently played with the Guelph Royals in 2022 in the Intercounty Baseball League. Chris Robinson has a pretty good baseball resume. He's played some affiliate baseball, and he also played at the World Baseball Classic, playing for Team Canada. My first memory of Chris Robinson was Team Canada versus Team Mexico at the World Baseball Classic. If you remember, in that tournament, run differential does matter. Canada was up, I think, 9-3 at the time, and Chris Robinson laid down a bunt single. Here's the 0-1. That one's up high, 1-1. Mexico didn't take very kindly to that. That was a team that had Adrian Gonzalez on it, I believe.
Oh, man.
Former Dodger. And a couple pitches later, there's a hit batter, benches end up clearing, and it was one of the most epic brawls I've seen, especially since it was international baseball between Canada and Mexico. And it all started because Chris Robinson had to lay down a bunt single with 1 out.
Who would have thought that a bunt single would be the ignition to make the sparks start flying?
Yeah, but in Chris Robinson's defense, run differential did matter.
Oh, yeah.
And Canada, who doesn't win a lot of games in the World Baseball Classic, needed runs. The 1-2. Benicio holds put at first base, and Robinson fouls it off.
Robinson fighting at the plate right now. He has only appeared in 1 game so far, and I mean, he had 4 at-bats, 1 hit, and 1 walk as well. So he sees the ball very, very well.
Chris Robinson calls time. Yeah, he had a big hit in that game against the Hamilton Cardinals to put the Maple Leafs on their way to that 8-7 comeback victory in Hamilton. Gave the team a lot of momentum. Hamilton didn't have the firepower of the bullpen to shut things down, and the Maple Leafs did. They brought in Dustin Richardson. He struck out the side, and it was darn near an immaculate inning as well.
I thought it was 1 pitch off, but I believe there were 2 foul balls in the first at-bat of that inning. But that might have been the most dominant we've seen Richardson in a little bit. I mean, that was efficient.
Here's the 1-2. You know, it was hard to say. You don't always get to see that great camera angle of Dustin Richardson with that camera they had in Hamilton with the Cable 14 broadcast. But he looked like he was throwing really hard on the mound. So here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside, the count runs full. Also, apologies on the broadcast front on our end today. We are in water protection mode here, so we have limited camera access as we gotta try and keep everything dry.
1 game, and There's plenty more to come. Make sure these cameras survive all of those.
3-2. There goes Jose Vinicio. We got a great jump and then stopped for some reason, but it's ball 4. Chris Robinson heads down to first base. Jose Vinicio up to second. Maple Leafs have 2 on with nobody out, and Charlie Towers coming to the plate. So that is going to do it for Markland, and that is Jake Harford coming into the game. Hasn't pitched since May 30th, so he'll get his first action in 10 days when we come back. So new pitcher in the game for the Welland Jackfish, it's Jake Harford. Jake Harford had a decent outing against Brantford last time, but it's been a bit of a slow start for Harford this year. Charlie Towers bunts through it, throw it out to second, and they got him. What a throw from Robert Mullen. Jose Vinicio is picked off at second base. The bunt play was on, but Charlie Towers didn't get it down, so Jose Vinicio was caught out in the weeds. And all of a sudden, there's 1 out and a runner on first base. And the Maple Leafs aren't looking so threatening anymore here in the bottom of the second.
That is a very, very tough break for the Leafs. But a fantastic throw down by Mullen. I mean, that was on the money.
That was perfect.
At second base.
Jake Harford comes into this outing with an ERA of 7.10 on the season. That's high, though, for Jake Harford. Last year had an ERA of 4.64 and a 5-2 record. This is the first game that Jake Harford's coming into that's not a start since back in 2022. And it's something he's only done 3 times. Just 3 times has Jake Harford come in relief in his IBL career that dates back to 2021. And Charlie Towers has had a couple good rips at these Jake Harford pitches, but behind in the count 1-2.
Looked like a couple elevated fastballs to Towers, and he's just getting under them. But like you said, good hacks. Just gotta try to find a way to get on top of that fastball.
One-two. Breaking ball up high. The problem for Jake Harford this season hasn't necessarily been walks. It's been that the opposing team is hitting his stuff. He's given up 15 hits in his first 12 2/3 innings this season. Towers takes way up and in. Counts now 3-2.
Now, granted that it's been 2 different pitchers, but these at-bats, Chris Robinson And now Charlie Towers, they are putting up some quality at-bats right now. Bottom half of the order doing their job.
3-2. Towers takes high, ball 4. So that's just the 6th walk in 13 innings that Jake Hartford has surrendered.
Maple Leafs are seeing the ball extremely well right now. I mean, they are, I believe that is the 5th walk so far of the game.
Jordan Castaldo comes into today's game with a 46-game on-base streak, dating back to a year ago. That is including playoffs as well, by the way.
Again, it's just impressive of how well he sees the ball and how well and efficient he is on getting on base.
Jordan Castaldo looked like he was going to get on base in his first at-bat, but it was a sharp line out to Brandon Hupe out in center field. Two and 0 on Castaldo. And he takes a ball.
Looked like another high fastball. Just couldn't locate it.
Might have been a bit up and a bit out, too. Three-0. That one's way inside, ball 4. That's a 4-pitch walk for Jordan Castaldo, who is historically known for his ability to take a base on balls. And the bases are loaded now with 1 out.
Number 9,
That extends his streak.
Right. Bottom of the second.
I mean, usually, you know, when we talk about something like that, it doesn't end up well for the batter.
True. We've had a couple commentators' curses in our day.
We have a couple this season. I've had to apologize a couple times.
So this is Justin Mara, who's at the plate. Mara is hitting .259 for the Maple Leafs.
How about this start for Hartford, though? I mean, he came into this game. Towers put up a fantastic at-bat against him. And then the last 2 batters, he's gone 5 straight balls.
Yeah, and the Welland Jackfish have noticed that. There's some action up in the bullpen. It's Brandon Underhill. Another righty for the Jackfish. Justin Mara has a home run this season and represents the tying run right now, but I think Justin Mara would be content with just keeping the line rolling because Marcus Connect, who's behind him, is all of a sudden starting to heat up. There's a strike from Hartford.
That's the first strike since, I believe, the 5th pitch to Towers.
Wow. So it's 2-1. And now it's 2-2. Off-speed pitch, caught the inside corner. There's a big spot here for Justin Mara, trying to get to Jake Hartford, who's coming in relief for just the 4th time in his IBL career. And Justin Mara hits it on the ground. That one is snared at shortstop, but there's no play anywhere. Heck of a play by Tyler Dupuis. But a run is going to come in to score on the infield single by Justin Mara, and it's 4-1.
That's just a phenomenal piece of hitting. It looked like Mara shortened up the swing and just takes it the other way through the hole. But like you said, a fantastic diving stab at it by Tyler Dupuis. And the Maple Leafs, I keep saying it, it looks like a new approach in hitting where it just continue to pass the torch down to the next guy. A lot of these guys, they have a lot of trust in each other. So it's just more so keep the bats rolling.
Now, for the moment, that was a heck of a play by Tyler Dupuis. It wasn't particularly impactful though, but it may have saved a run for the Maple Leafs. It all depends on how quickly that ball got to the outfielder Caleb Fiersteak.
Towers was taking a pretty big round at third. He possibly could have gotten thrown out. It was Dupuis. He took a look over there and just decided to hold on to the ball.
The 1-0. That finds the strike zone as well, and Jake Harford has dialed in now. Counts 0-2 on Marcus Connect. And Connect lines this one into the outfield. That gets down for a base hit. One run comes in to score. That's Charlie Towers. And they're going to hold Jordan Castaldo at third base. Stay hot, Marcus Connect. He drives in the run for the Maple Leafs, and it's now 4-2.
Again, a fantastic piece of hitting. Connect. Looked like another elevated fastball by Hartford, and he just takes it the other way right over the second baseman's head. And again, the philosophy of just pass that torch down the lineup. These hitters, they are starting to heat up here for the Leafs.
And this is a guy who can put a dent on the score sheet. Don Salazzo leads the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the only Maple Leaf this season to hit multiple home runs. He's got 2 of them. And he hits this one in the air, but he got under it. It's the center fielder, Brandon Hupe, who makes the catch. Jordan Castaldo faked like he was coming home, and it's the pitcher, Hartford, who cuts the throw off as Jordan Castaldo retreats back to third base. And that's a frustrated John Salazzo as he heads back. He knows he was just inches away from driving in that run with a sac fly.
Yeah, Salazzo, he got the pitch he wanted. It was just a little bit underneath it. And again, credit to Hartford. But Salazzo, he just missed that pitch.
Well, Ryan Dos Santos is up into the 5 spot today for the Maple Leafs. And this is the right guy to keep the line moving for Toronto. Bases are loaded, 2 outs. The Maple Leafs already have 2 in the inning. And if they can score here, it doesn't matter. But if you look back to how this inning started, as here's the 1-0. And that one finds the zone. It's 1-1. Maple Leafs had Jose Vinicio get picked off with nobody out at second base when they were trying to put a bunt play on. And we could be in a different scenario here if it wasn't for that.
Looked like another off speed there by Hartford, and that one was bounced in about 2 feet in front of home plate. Kind of get the sense he doesn't have a grip for that. Looked like a changeup.
2-1. High, 3-1. Ryan Dos Santos walked in his last at-bat. Nowhere to put him here, and I'll bet you Ryan Dos Santos knows that as well. He might get a fastball he likes. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And he got a fastball, but he didn't like it, and it's up high. Ball 4. That will push in another run for the Maple Leafs. They've brought it to within 1. It's 4-3.
The patient approach right now by these Maple Leafs is fantastic. Again, we talked about how slow of a start they've had to the season, and it really showed in the month of May, but since the calendar has flipped to June, these hitters, they're starting to find their pace, they're starting to find their rhythm. Watch out, it's looking pretty good right now.
Cole Murchison takes outside. This is another guy who's a power threat for the Maple Leafs. Just starting out his Inter-County Baseball League career here with Toronto. The 1-0. That one's up high. Murchison in 2023 played with Monterey Bay in the NCAA. The reason that it's taken so much time for Cole Murchison to get his first at-bats with the Maple Leafs this season is that he's been off playing college, but now they have him back. And midway through this count, we are going to see a pitching change. The count is 2-0 on Cole Murchison, and it's number 3, Brandon Underhill, who's going to come into this game for Welland. So the Welland Jackfish are going to the bullpen early and often here in this baseball game. Already the third pitcher used, and you can see there's not a lot of depth down there in that Jackfish bullpen. A lot of those arms are quality arms coming out of the Welland Jackfish bullpen, but you're going to need some innings from somebody. At this rate, they won't make it.
Yeah, this is the second time this inning that a pitcher's been called in midway through an at-bat, so should be interesting to see how Underhill does here.
1 2/3 of an inning so far by Welland Jackfish pitchers, and they're already into their third arm. There's a strike, so 2 strikes to start things off by Brandon Underhill. Now Robert Mullen's going to come to the mound and have a chat. You'd think that's probably a sign miscommunication.
Yeah, I would assume that's what happened, and obviously the umpire will say no visit just because it is a safety thing. If you call a changeup and he throws you a fastball.
Or even worse, you're expecting a fastball and it's a breaking ball.
Oh, yeah.
2-2, just outside. Mullen called for the breaking ball and got the breaking ball, but it just missed.
Runners will be on the move here, and things could get interesting here if Murchison can put a ball in play.
Action pitch coming, the 3-2. Murchison hits it down the line, actually it was well foul. Perspective is a crazy thing, isn't it?
Thought that was going to land on the line, and we just see it tick off the fence.
Yeah. Yeah, just past the Maple Leafs dugout down the left field line. Murchison well behind on that pitch. Another 3-2 pitch. Runners will be going again. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. How about the job by Brandon Underhill? Comes into the game with bases loaded and 2 outs and a 2-0 count. And he gets Cole Murchison via the strikeout. We'll take a quick break and be right back in the 3rd inning here at Dominico Field. Welcome back to Dominico Field. Robert Mullen is going to lead things off for the Welland Jackfish. The Maple Leafs cut into the lead. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So now Angel Castro, who has had 2 lengthy weights on the bench. And just through pitch number 37 is back on the mound. Here's the 0-1. And it misses outside 1-1. Well, Angel Castro has given up 4 runs in the first 2 innings, but I don't think the Maple Leafs will be quick to take him out of the game. He's a guy that can battle. As this one's hammered to left field, but foul by Robert Mullen.
Mullen got all of that, but it was an off speed. So for the Leafs' sake, thankfully, he was way out in front.
And El Castro, he's a ball player. He's a guy that we've seen get up over 140 pitches in some playoff games for the Maple Leafs.
He is indeed a ball player. A workhorse on the mound, and I mean, some pitchers, they could have been rattled after that first inning of back-to-back home runs where they were pretty well hit. But Castro, he took a second, stepped back, took a breath, and got right back on the mound.
And that one, Robert Mullen's arguing that it hit him, but the home plate umpire is going to say that he stuck his elbow out a little bit. So Mullen's going to have to stay in the box.
It was a shout out to some of the Bushmen that are here today saying he leaned into it, making sure that the ump got the call.
He agreed.
Yeah. So mark that as an assist to the Bushmen.
2-2. 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That was a veteran battle there between Angel Castro and Robert Mullen, and it's Castro who wins the battle.
For the second time today, Castro gets Mullen down swinging, and I mean, that's just a great pitch. Looked like, I believe, a slider on the outer half, and he had Mullen reaching for it.
In traditional Angel Castro style, he had some words for Robert Mullen on his way to the bench as well.
Yeah, one thing we have definitely learned about Castro, he's a very vocal player.
Line drive into the outfield and down for a base hit. So Mateo Porcelato stays hot. He's now 2 for 2, and that batting average is getting darn near close to 450 on the season.
Yeah, he is staying red hot. I mean, Porcelato is seeing the ball extremely well. When you're in a groove like this, I mean, I can only imagine what the baseball looks like. It's probably looking like a beach ball right now to Mateo.
So Tyler Dupuis is at the plate, and we didn't think this was going to be notable, but he made a heck of a play on what ended up being an infield single by Justin Mara. But by snaring that ball at shortstop, it meant that the run didn't come in to score, and even though there were just 1 out in the inning, it never did. Tyler Dupuis jumps back after a pitch up and in.
Looked like Porcelato was taking off. You can hear everybody saying step off, but Porcelato, he took that big lead and then just kind of stopped, didn't continue his momentum.
That affected Angel Castro too when he heard that, as he almost hit Tyler Dupuis as that one got away. Dupuis goes around, counts now 1-1. Tyler Dupuis hasn't been known for his power in the Intercounty Baseball League, but he already has a home run this season. That's a career high. 1.
It's higher than my career high.
With that being said, Dupuis is an excellent on-base hitter. Up and in, throw down to second base is right on the money, but just late. It's a stolen base from Mateo Porcelato. The pitch was high, so that counts now 2-2. Tyler Dupuis is hitting .316 this season, and that's low by his standards. hit .342 in his first season in the Intercounty Baseball League. That was back in 2022. Here's the 2-2 pitch. On the ground, Vinicio grabs it on a big hop, throws to first in the dirt, scooped by Jordan Castaldo. And the runner, Porcelato, will advance to third base.
Left fielder number 37, Caleb Heuerstein.
That was an exciting way to get out number 2.
Good play by Vinicio over there at short, and nice to get the first ball of the game for him there. Settled down. We have seen Vinicio make a couple hiccups in the field so far this year.
Doesn't get any easier with the wet grass and the rain on the infield. Could be a factor as we move through this game. Here's the 0-1. This one's hit in the air towards left field, but that's going to hook way out of play. So the count's 0-2. Angel Castro from the full lineup. And it's up and in. Now there's a pigeon on the field.
Was that Richardson that went
chased
out there?
away by Dustin Richardson?
Hey, if I saw DR run at me like that too.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be on the field. Here's the 1-2. And it's just outside. 2-2. Caleb Feuerstein trying to extend the inning. Angel Castro came into this inning with a pitch count well over 30. And although he's just allowed the one base runner, there have been some stressful innings, but Angel Castro will get the strikeout to finish things off and is fired up on the mound after that. It's the Welland Jackfish who lead the Maple Leafs 4-3. We'll be back in the bottom of the third.
Vinicio!
Well, Jose Vinicio is going to lead off the inning for the Maple Leafs. Already the second inning that Jose Vinicio has been leading off. The second and the third, and got on base his last time up, which got things started for Toronto. They cashed in 3 runs in the second inning.
He worked a good count last time up, went to full after being down 1-2.
The 0-1, that one is over the outside corner, 0-2. Brandon Underhill is on the mound for the Jackfish. Markland started things out, then we saw Harford, and now Underhill. Vinicio pokes it foul to the left. Behind to the count, 0-2. Pitch from Underhill. And Vinicio chops it on the ground. That one's to second base. Play made by Dawson Tweet, one away.
Right fielder, number 21, Chris Robinson.
Chris Robinson steps in for his second at-bat of the game. Robinson walked last time up.
Walked on a 9-pitch at-bat. Robinson, he had a fantastic at-bat his last time up.
It's a big cut and a foul off on the first pitch. Chris Robinson, back in 2015, was the coach of Team Ontario, one of the coaches of Team Ontario at Tournament 12, which was a tournament put on by Roberto Alomar at Rogers Center. And I can't go through all of them, but I was going through some of the names on that roster, and there are a lot of Intercounty Baseball League players that Chris Robinson was the coach of. And now he's playing against them here.
Says, I remember you when you were this tall, and now you're in the league against me.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1. On the ground to third base. Throw to first in time to get a hustling Chris Robinson. 2 of the players on that Team Ontario were Abraham Toro and Josh Naylor.
Number 2, Charlie.
I hear those guys are having a pretty good career so far.
Yeah, they're in the majors. Charlie Towers stands hitting 158 on the season for the Maple Leafs. It's in the number 9 hole today. And he pops this one up. Tyler Dupuis is calling for it. He races over and makes the catch. That is a quick inning for Brandon Underhill. And he gets the bats of the Welland Jackfish right back up. We head to the 4th inning. It's Welland leading 4-3.
Designated hitter number 25, Tyson Gong.
Angel Castro back on the mound for the Maple Leafs. Had a good inning to get through a scoreless third and was as fired up as we've seen Angel Castro in this game coming off the mound. So we'll see if he might have unlocked a new level here. Castro gave up 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings, but appears to be settling in a little bit. Here's the 1-0. That was a feature of Castro that we saw a lot back in the 2022 season, where he might start off the game with some long at-bats and maybe even giving up a couple runs, but he seemed to get better with time.
Yeah, Castro, I mean, he's just a seasoned vet. He's had a long road of experience.
This one's hit on the ground. Angel Castro is going to try and field this ball from his backside, and he slipped and fell trying to grab that baseball. And looked at first like he might have hurt himself, but he gets right back up.
Yeah, it went down awkwardly. He took the first step off the mound and just kind of slid. So a big break there for Welland. What looked like almost a sure-fired out. Would you call that a base hit, or what would you call that?
I don't know.
Third baseman number 9, Ethan Hunt.
Thanks, Thomas.
I'm working on a replay, though. Castro facing the number 9 hitter in Ethan Hunt. Here's the first pitch. Hunt takes up and in. Here's another look at it. Yeah, that's probably an error. Either way, the Jackfish have a runner on first base and nobody out. That pitch is in the dirt. Here's the throw from Mara, and it's not in time. Boy, Justin Mara has made some good throws down to second base. They're just slightly late.
That one was very close, and I mean, you can kind of see the frustration coming from the Leafs. Salazzo looked over, he pounded his glove after in frustration, thought that Mara got that throw down in time.
So Tyson Gom is at second base. Ethan Hunt still at the plate. Ahead in the count, 2-0. And Hunt accidentally fouls that towards his own dugout, trying to check his swing on a pitch that was high. Angel Castro likes to work quick on the mound, but things are starting to slow down a bit in this inning. He fakes like he's going back to second base, then comes to the plate, and that pitch is way up and in. Check swing, they say Hunt did not go around, so the count's now 3-1. If you watch closely, you'll see Angel Castro. It's not a pickoff move because he still comes to the plate, but he fakes like he's going back to second base and then ends up delivering the ball to the plate. He's done it twice so far. Both times have definitely tricked the runner at second base. But he's sacrificed a bit of control by doing that as well as he walks Ethan Hunt. So now there's first and second with nobody out for the Jackfish.
Funny thing is, both times it's been Tyson Gom on second base there.
Second baseman
Got a
number
little
20,
bit tricked by the move,
Dawson
and it's almost
Toots.
the Johnny Cueto-esque, where he Just kind of spin back, fake it, and you just go to the plate.
Yeah. So it's the leadoff hitter, Dawson Tweet, and second baseman for the Jackfish. He's got 2 runners on base. And here's the first pitch from Castro. And he's scoring a bunt. He gets it down the third base line. Salazzo's going to let it roll foul. That was going to be a tough play if Salazzo was going to throw that one to first base to get any outs.
It's a very heads-up play by Salazzo. You kind of see the ball starting to tail towards foul, and he picks it up very quickly so it doesn't roll back to fair territory. Like you said, that would have been very difficult anywhere. The runners were basically all at the bases.
So 1 strike on Dawson Tweet. Castro fakes like he's going back to second, comes to the plate, throw down to second, in time, they got him. Oh, there were a lot of moving parts on that play between Angel Castro deking the runner and then Justin Mara whipping it down to second base and getting a congratulations there from Angel Castro, who points back at his catcher.
And I mean, again, it's Tyson out there at second. Happened in the earlier innings when he reached base and happened earlier in this inning as well.
That will help Angel Castro. Now it's a runner on first base and 1 out, rather than 2 on and nobody out. This one's hit to center field, not particularly deep. Catch made by Marcus Connect, 1 away. Second out of the inning, I should say.
Center fielder number 21, Brandon Hupe.
So after the pickoff at second base, Angel Castro immediately gets a fly out, and now he's 1 out away from getting out of what looked like a sticky situation to start things out. Brendan Hupe at the plate. That pitch is high, ball 1.
Seems like Castro's getting a little bit more gas behind these pitches. You can hear the pop of the mitt. It's getting louder and louder each inning.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Started the at-bat with the fastball high and then went to the breaking ball in the other half, and you got Hupe swinging out wild like that.
The 1-1. On the ground to third, but foul. Angel Castro, the former 13th round draft pick back in 2006, went to the Detroit Tigers, and then eventually ended up moving his way to the Oakland Athletics organization. Finally, for Angel Castro, at 32 years old, made his major league debut with Oakland. Pitched in 4 innings. Now he stands on the mound in the Intercounty Baseball League at 41. And still going strong. The 2-2 pitch. On the ground, Salazzo has it tick off his glove, picks it up, throws to second in plenty of time to get the out. Another scoreless inning for Angel Castro. He gets a little help from his defense. Justin Mara gets the pickoff throw down to second base, and then John Salazzo, a strong play to throw out the runner at second base. It's the Maple Leafs who trail 4-3 to the Welland Jackfish. We'll be right back. Well, Toronto Maple Leafs baseball on YouTube is brought to you by MNP, National in Scope, Local in Focus. MNP is one of Canada's leading professional services firms, proudly serving individuals, businesses, and organizations since 1958. Brandon Underhill is back on the mound, and he's facing Jordan Castaldo to lead things off, and Castaldo hammers one. This one's deep to right field, and it is off the fence. Jordan Castaldo is going to have to put on the brakes and stop at first base. That's a long single for Jordan Castaldo to lead off the bottom of the fourth.
And that right there, I think, is the first time we've really seen that caged monster make a heavy appearance. That hit right off the wall. But Castaldo, he got every stitch of that baseball, and that is another hit for the leadoff man.
And it's crazy to think that Jordan Castaldo has hit quite a few balls like that in his career, where he hits it so hard off the wall he only gets to first base. And he's 5th all time in the Intercounty Baseball League in doubles. Goes to show you some of the offensive power that Jordan Castaldo has brought to the IBL. Now it's Justin Mara, and Mara takes a breaking ball for a strike. Pitch to Mara is well outside.
Underhill working really quickly. I mean, ever since he came in, he's been pretty effective. Look at last inning, only an 8-pitch inning for him.
The 1-2. Justin Mara lines it into the outfield. It's down for a base hit. 2 solid singles for the Maple Leafs to start off the bottom of the fourth. And it brings up Marcus Connect, who has a hit this game. Well, the Welland Jackfish came into this game rolling. They still lead 4-3 over the Maple Leafs, but Welland hasn't lost since May 19th in a game against the Hamilton Cardinals. They started off the season 1-2 and have been rolling ever since. 2 wins against the Maple Leafs over that stretch as well. One 10-0, one 6-4. Actually, Maple Leafs won that game 6-4, so I guess that's their only loss since May 19th.
And it's something about this Leaf squad. They've been a pesky side for Welland. Talked about that 6-4 loss, and now they have not been giving up an inch here in this one.
Connect with an 0-1 count. The pitch from Underhill. And Marcus Connect hits it on the ground, might have broke his bat. To second for 1. On to first. In-time double play. A broken bat ground ball double play by Marcus Connect has changed the complexion of this inning wildly for Brandon Underhill. That's a heck of a play by the infield defense of Welland Jackfish.
Yeah, I thought, they were only going to be able to get the 1 out because Dupuis, he elected to take that on a late hop. He took it and tossed it to second, and a fantastic arm coming from the Welland Jackfish second baseman to get that out.
So now the pressure's on John Salazzo. With 2 outs, he's got a runner on third base. If he can get one into the outfield, or just any sort of hit, it would tie the ball game. And Salazzo hits it on the ground to first. Flip to Underhill covering the bag in time to get the out. Brandon Underhill gets the double play and then covers himself at first base to get the out. And the Welland Jackfish continue to lead 4-3. Top of the 5th inning, and another inning for Angel Castro. His team trailing 4-3 to the Welland Jackfish. Steven Moretto starting things off for the Maple Leafs. And a nice play at first base to get the Jackfish out of the inning. An inning that started with 2 hard singles by Jordan Castaldo and Justin Mara.
Yeah, and again, to think this game possibly could have been tied when you look back on the big inning that the Maple Leafs had where Jose Vinicio was back picked at second base.
Steven Moretto was 1 for 5 last game. In that 11-5 win against the Kitchener Panthers the Jackfish had. And Moretto fouls it down the left side.
Moretto wasted no time in his first at-bat of this game. He fell down quickly, 3-1, and then he just launched a fastball by Angel Castro over that left field wall. Same thing here, 3-1 count to Moretto.
Steve Moretto leads the Jackfish with 4 home runs. 3-1. And Moretto gets another 3-1 pitch that he demolishes. This time it's to center field and it's way out of here. 5-3 Welland Jackfish on the solo home run. 2nd of the day, 5th of the season for Steve Moretto.
Talked about what he did in the first inning, and well, he did it again. Castro fell behind. 3-1, goes the fastball, and Moretto just unleashes a powerful hit over that left field wall.
So give him 13 RBIs on the season as well. Brings up Robert Mullen, the catcher for the Jackfish. Castro ahead, 0-1. And now Mullen takes low, the count's 1-1. So that home run by Steven Moretto ties Seth Strong of the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers for first in IBL home runs. It also breaks his tie with Seth Strong for RBIs. Seth Strong is off to a great start for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. They knew he was going to be a strong player for them, but this is another level.
That was just in the name.
Yeah, you don't have to be that strong though to get it over the wall in Chatham-Kent. It gets just over 250 down the line, but they have a big wall down there that prevents some of the home runs, but not many from Seth Strong. That pitch is a strike over the outside corner, so Angel Castro's back in the count. It's full. Three-two. And this one's hammered to left field and gone. Back-to-back home runs for the Welland Jackfish. This time it's Robert Mullen. And the Jackfish lead 6-3. Well, Robert Mullen was a bit out in front of that pitch, but he had just enough to get it over the wall out there in left field. And for the second time today, the Welland Jackfish have hit back-to-back home runs.
And I mean, that's just power on top of power. That's 4 home runs in just 5 innings for this Welland Jackfish team.
Teo Porcelato hits one on the ground foul. Second home run of the season for Robert Mullen.
Looks like we'll have some action happening over there in the Maple Leafs bullpen. I believe that's Julian. Timoshka, I should say. There's quite a few Julians on this squad.
So the 4 home runs that the Welland Jackfish have hit today have put them in the league lead as a team. They now have 15 home runs, which is 2 more than the Guelph Royals. And this might be another one. Drilled to center, and it's gone! Matteo Porcelato and the Welland Jackfish go back to back to back. All solo home runs, and it's 7-3.
Porcelato might be the hottest hitter right now in the IBL. He is seeing everything so well at the plate. His 3rd hit of the game, and it's a moonshot over that center field fence, the raised center field fence, that is.
2nd home run of the season for Matteo Porcelato, and that's going to elicit a mound visit here. 7 runs for the Welland Jackfish through 4+ innings so far. Julian Timoshka isn't quite ready yet. He's still long tossing out there in the bullpen. This hasn't been a great start to the season for Angel Castro.
Shortstop number 6, Tyler Dupuy.
So it's the shortstop, Tyler Dupuy, who stands in. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. Angel Castro trying to settle things down after the Jackfish have had 3 consecutive home runs. Here's the 0-1. And Dupuy takes up and in, 1-1.
Yeah, Welland, I mean, we have talked time and time again about how deep of a lineup they have and how good of a team that they have. But, I mean, they are showing it off here in this 5th inning. I mean, back-to-back-to-back solo shots. That is beyond impressive.
There's a swing and a miss, 2-2.
It looked like Dupuy wanted to make it 4 in a row with that cut at the high fastball.
Yeah. And he got him swinging. 1 away.
Yeah, he got him chasing 2 high fastballs, and I mean, Castro, again, it's been a rough go right here in this inning, but it's a good bounce back.
Left fielder number 37, Caleb Feuerstein.
Angel Castro hasn't pitched in the IBL since 2022. Delivers way up and away. His last outing before today was against the London Majors on September 22nd. It was a game obviously in the IBL Finals, one that the Maple Leafs fell 8-7. And Angel Castro was one of the more upper pitch count games that we've seen for Angel Castro as well. He went 8 innings, gave up 7 runs, struck out 13.
Wow.
So just all over the map. Also threw 132 pitches. So it's fouled off by Caleb Feuerstein. The count's 2-2.
He's battling back here against Feuerstein, and this is the one hitter that he's been able to kind of control so far today. Feuerstein strikeouts swinging in both plate appearances.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. So after back-to-back home runs, Angel Castro strikes out the next 2 batters.
Got Dupuy swinging, and he just froze Fear Steak right there. 3rd strikeout of the day for number 37 on the Jackfish.
Line drive up the middle, base hit for Tyson Gom. And he's aboard once again.
2nd hit of the day here for Gom out of the 8th spot. Scored all the way back in the 2nd, and then he's been a victim to the antics on the mound by Angel Castro.
Some other scores around the Intercounty Baseball League. Kitchener Panthers and Brantford Red Sox tied 1-1. Those 2 teams both off to slow starts to the season. Chatham-Kent Barnstormers are up 5-3 over the Hamilton Cardinals. And London and Barrie is still waiting to get started. Here's a pop-up towards first base. Jordan Castaldo comes over and drops it. He's camped under it, had a kick off the heel of his glove, and Angel Castro was already throwing a lot of pitches and had a strenuous inning. Is going to have to get Ethan Hunt, who has another life. So Hunt steps back in. Welland Jackfish with 3 runs in the inning, all via the home run. They lead 7-3 over the Maple Leafs. Here's the 1-1 to Hunt. And it's fouled off. 1-2.
Hunt worked a walk his last time up, and he was stranded on first. Castro just trying to get out of it. Like you mentioned, partner, he's thrown a lot of pitches to this point.
1-2. And it's in the dirt. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, says the home plate umpire. So Angel Castro strikes out the side, but also gives up 3 home runs in the inning. To the bottom of the 5th we go. It's 7-3 Welland Jackfish with the bats of the Maple Leafs coming up. I see there the IBL ERA leaders this season. Ben Abram at the number 5 spot was excellent against the Maple Leafs last time he pitched against them with a complete game and a 10-0 win for the Welland Jackfish. Jacob Cush was the guy that the Maple Leafs had to face last time out. That was against the Guelph Royals, and the only reason he has any numbers there beside his ERA is because the Maple Leafs touched him up for a couple of runs.
Yeah, we kept mentioning the Maple Leafs bats. It seemed to be coming more alive, and
Now Santos a little chopper, and there's nobody covering first base. Ryan Dos Santos reaches on an infield single. Boy, Brandon Underhill has not given up a lot of hard contact to Maple Leafs hitters. Really, the only two are the 2 singles to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Other than that, he's been fantastic. It's been good so far for the Jackfish as well, at 2.70 ERA and 6 2/3 innings pitched coming into this game. 5 strikeouts to just the 1 walk.
yeah, early on in this game, it kind of had the feeling that Welland, you know, maybe the pitching wasn't going to be there for them today. Underhill came in, though, and like you mentioned, he's just shut the door down. Really, no offense coming around the way of the Maple Leafs.
So far, 3 1/3 innings pitched by Brandon Underhill, and that was what he threw last time out against the Brantford Red Sox, but that was on May 30th. Brandon Underhill hasn't gone more than 3 1/3 innings since back on August 17th last season. He's typically been a guy that goes between 1 and 2 innings. The 2-1. Cole Murchison hits one in the air. This one's to center field, but it's not quite deep enough. Catch is made by Hupe, and there's one away.
And Murchison, he got a good piece of it, but again, it kind of just seems he got under it a little bit. And that one, like you said, it just ends up an easy caught for Hupe out there in center field.
Jose Vinicio steps in with a runner on first base. Now, Ryan Dos Santos has excellent speed over there at first, but we haven't seen him be overly aggressive yet. Maple Leafs do need 4 runs to tie things up, and now Underhill will have a check on Ryan Dos Santos at first base.
That infield hit by Dos Santos is only the 3rd hit that Underhill has given up since entering this game.
Vinicio hits one on the ground. That gets through. And there's 2 on with 1 out for the Leafs, as Jose Vinicio has himself a hard hit ground ball single.
Make that 4 hits now. But that's the kind of approach that, you know, we want to see out of Jose Vinicio. Just, you know, find the gaps and find the holes in the infield. And that's exactly what Vinicio does right there. Waits back on it and just takes it the other way with the hard hit single.
So with that hit, Jose Vinicio has hits in 3 consecutive games, had 3 hits against Hamilton, 1 against Guelph. This might be a momentum boosting weekend for Jose Vinicio. Obviously, you're not going to get that batting average up to the 300 mark in one swing or anything like that, but early in the season, you put together a couple good days. When you look at what Jordan Castaldo has done, hitting 500 in his last 2 at-bats, took 230 into 295 awfully quick. With the hit today, I guess he'd probably be over 300.
Yeah, and again with Vinicio, I mean, you mentioned it, he's starting to hit the ball more and starting to get on base more, and it's just more so take the small positives and kind of work it, because it is a long season.
Chris Robinson trying to cash in a run. Got runners on first and second. Brendan Underhill misses low to the counts now 2-1.
Robinson has put up 2 solid at-bats so far today. More so just hasn't been lucky with where it's gone. He walked in his first one, and then the second at bat, he hit a sharp ground ball to third base.
Robinson takes inside, 3-1. Maple Leafs right fielder has worked himself into a hitter's count. Charlie Towers is on deck. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and Robinson takes a strike. Now, Chris Robinson, through his minor league days, came up playing as a catcher. I'm not sure if that's in the equation or not for Robinson here with the Maple Leafs, but he could provide some depth in that area. Here's the full count pitch. Dos Santos goes, Robinson fouls it off. With that being a 2-strike pitch, Chris Robinson had to protect. But Dos Santos did have a good jump down to third base.
Yeah, not a bad idea to kind of take off as well, because you know, if the pitch is outside, he's scoring from second there, and then obviously if Robinson lets it go and ball 4, you're just at third anyway.
Dos Santos was also going on his own there as Jose Vinicio stayed put at first base. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Underhill gets Robinson looking, and now it falls on Charlie Towers to try and drive in one of these runs. Danny Howitt getting loose in the bullpen for the Jackfish. Been great for Welland since coming over from Brantford Red Sox last season. Charlie Towers has a lot of room up the middle. Both Dawson Tweet and Tyler Dupuis playing him closer to the lines than second base.
First pitch swinging, and all 3 at-bats, I believe, so far today for Towers. He's just trying to generate something here. Flip that lineup over. That should be the only thing in the mind right now for Towers. Get Castaldo up to bat with runners in scoring position somehow.
Here's the 1-0 to Towers. And he pops it up. This one's on the infield, and the catch is made at third base by Ethan Hunt. So the Maple Leafs get a couple more runners on, but can't cash in. It's 7-3 Welland Jackfish here at Dominico Field, and Brandon Underhill gets a handshake on the way out, so that might be it. And Danny Howitt coming in next inning. So the day for Angel Castro is done, gives up 7 runs, and now gives way to Julian Tomachko, who's going to face the top of the Welland Jackfish order. Dawson Tweet at the plate, and the first pitch is hammered down the left field line and foul.
These Welland Jackfish bats, they are going up there swinging, and they are swinging with confidence right now. I mean, 5 home runs on the day. They are seeing the ball extremely well.
Julian Tomachko comes into this appearance with an ERA of 5.14 in 7 games. In each of Tomachko's outings this season, he's gone exactly 1 inning. And he was excellent last time out. That came against Hamilton 2 days ago. Misses outside, now 3-1 to Dawson Tweed. Walked a batter over that inning, but struck out 2 and bridged the gap to Dustin Richardson for the Maple Leafs. He misses upstairs, ball 4. Dawson Tweet is on first base, and he's got good speed.
Yeah, that was 3 straight pitches to Tomachko where it was just high and outside, so it just kind of looks like he's not finishing his motion right now. He's getting around the ball, and he's leaving his arm trailing a little bit.
He did pitch an inning on Friday, so this is probably the shortest amount of time between Julian Tomachko's outings. Brandon Hupe at the plate, the center fielder for the Jackfish. And Hupe takes low.
Starts the at-bat off here with 2 off-speed pitches. The first one connecting that one, again, like you said, a little bit low. He's got to get control of that fastball here in this outing.
The 1-1, up and in. Hupe leans out of the way.
And again, there it is, that high fastball. The arm tailing a little bit behind him.
Hupe hit a home run way back in the first inning for the Welland Jackfish. It's part of back-to-back home runs between him and Steven Moretto, who's on deck. Kicked things off, made it 1-0 Welland Jackfish as he walks down to first base. 2 walks to start the inning by Julian Tomachko. And then a rain delay and a whole lot of pitches and fun stuff later, and it's 7-3 Welland Jackfish. So Sam Green's gonna come out to the mound for the Maple Leafs and have a chat with Julian Tomachko. Haven't got an update yet on Sam Green, who's injured right now for the Leafs. But he walked off the mound in game against Kitchener, I believe, a couple weeks ago. And he was holding his arm, and we were told later on that it was a tear in his bicep, which was something that he was kind of dealing with last year as well.
First baseman number 15, Steven Moretto.
So I'm not really sure what the timeline looks like, but good to see, I guess. Not arms on the sling or anything, so
yeah,
that's
no
good.
Sling, no brace. I looked during batting practice as well, see if he was wearing anything. Nothing was on the arm.
Definitely not throwing, though.
Probably going to be shut down for a couple weeks of throwing-wise until it's healed up.
Fly ball to center field. Marcus Connect calling for it, and he's got it. And the runner from second goes to third. That's Dawson Tweet. Fly ball wasn't all that deep, but Dawson Tweet's got great speed, and he moves up an extra 90 feet. It's Chris Nagorski warming up in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. Well, Welland Jackfish have hit 5 home runs today. Robert Mullen is one of the Jackfish that is homered. Did that in his last at-bat. Part of back-to-back home runs by the Jackfish. He's got another RBI opportunity here. He's got 2 runners on base. Pitch from Tomachko. Low and outside.
It was a 2-2 count. Mullen got a fastball, and he just kind of smashed it into left center field.
Julian Tomashko checks on the runner at first. Mullen pops it up on the infield, but it's going to hook into foul territory and bounce up on the hillside.
Somebody went down to get that ball, and they slid about 5 feet past it.
Yeah,
running down the hill.
It's a rainy hillside here at
It's a slick one over there.
Yeah. The 1-1 from Tomachko, and he's going to throw to first, and that one was a little bit closer. Quick pickoff move there by Julian Tomachko.
Yeah, hoop guy he was leaning.
Gotta be careful though at first base with Dawson Tweet at third. Runner from second goes, and Mullen fouls it off. Robert Mullen thought he had a pitch to hit. Robert Mullen would have been familiar with Angel Castro playing in the Oakland A's system at the same time. Not sure if they ever actually crossed paths, but Robert Mullen was all over the A's system between 2013 and 2019, played some rookie ball, some single A, some double A, and most recently professionally playing high A in 2019. Pitch high, throw down to second base, and plenty of time. They got him. An ambitious play by the Maple Leafs to throw through, but that's what they get with Justin Mara, and he guns down his second runner today.
A little bit surprised that Tweet, didn't take a bigger lead off third or go right when Mara threw. I mean, it looked like Hoope just kind of let up a little bit while on the run to try to get that runner to score.
Mullen on the ground to John Salazzo. Long throw to first base in plenty of time to get the catcher Robert Mullen, and the Maple Leafs and Julian Tomachko get out of it. The first two reach for the Welland Jackfish, but Tomachko works out of trouble. It's 7-3 Welland here at Dominico Field. Well, an excellent job done by Brandon Underhill to keep the Maple Leafs at bay. And now he gives way to Danny Howitt, the former Brantford Red Sox, now Welland Jackfish, and delivers strike one to Jordan Castaldo. Danny Howitt comes in with a 4.50 ERA this season for Welland. And he's got 4 runs to work with here as well. Jordan Castaldo hits a fly ball. This one's in the outfield. Brandon Hupe comes over and makes the catch. 1 away. Jordan Castaldo just missed that one.
Catcher number 9.
Yeah, Castaldo, he's been swinging a good bat today. Maple Leafs. See if you can recognize who it is.
Will Hennis Alvarado.
There you go. Got the jersey untucked, got the hard helmet on, and he is coaching the boys.
Nice. Counts 1-1 now on Justin Mara. Hennis Alvarado pitched against Hamilton. Had a good start. Got into some trouble early in that outing, but was able to settle things down. 1-2 on Justin Mara. And he pops it up. Mateo Porcelato makes the catch. Justin Mara just got under that one as well. For the first time in the game, Maple Leafs are facing a lefty. It's the 4th pitcher that the Jackfish have doled out.
And I mean, credit to Underhill, who again was taken out of the game. He had a phenomenal stretch where he just shut down the Maple Leafs. And I mean, it looked scary. It looked like the Leafs could be threatening to pile on some runs in the first couple innings, and Underhill came in and he just shut the door.
Marcus Connect takes strike 1. Danny Howitt as a reliever has, well, mostly a reliever, has already pitched 10 innings this year for the Jackfish. Here's the 1-1. This one's hammered to center field by Marcus Connect, and it's one hopping up against the wall. Marcus Connect will hustle into second base with a stand-up double. And the Leafs have some action with 2 outs as that ball was ripped to center field by Marcus Connect.
Great hit by Connect, and we talked about his bat starting to find it. It's turning around here. Another 2-hit day for him. Looking really good at the plate right now.
Yeah, Davey Mendez, one of those relievers that's available out of the bullpen for the Jackfish today.
When you look down at the bullpen for the Jackfish, it looks like a council meeting. Everybody's sitting down there.
Davey Mendez also hasn't pitched this weekend for Welland. Last pitched on June 1st. And saw him jogging around in the pregame, so he might get an inning here. There's a strike to John Salazzo that heard someone in the Maple Leafs dugout yell no.
I think we know who it was. I have an idea.
Is Angel still down there? Yeah, I guess so. Here's the 1-1. Salazzo swings and misses. That was the same pitch that he got before, but felt that he had to go after it. Counts now 1-2.
And it is tough when you have a lefty like this on the mound, and that breaking ball in the outer half, it starts almost at your hip and it breaks to the outer half of the plate.
The 1-2. Salazzo hits it to center field. And Brandon Hupe will make the catch about 15 feet in front of the wall out there in center. The Maple Leafs are retired, and Danny Howitt works around Marcus Connect double to center field. It's 7-3 Welland Jackfish. We'll be right back. Welland Jackfish leading 7-3 over the Maple Leafs, top of the 7th inning, and the Leafs are going to turn to Chris Nagorski, who will face Mateo Portolato to start things off. Welland Jackfish have hit 5 home runs today, but the lead is still just 4. Hasn't been anybody on base on any of those home runs. In fact, only 1 hit drove in 2. That was a Brandon Hupe RBI double.
And when you look across the board, I mean, there has not been a clean inning so far today for any Maple Leafs pitching. Welland has just done a good job getting on base, and then obviously the power has been on display all day long.
Chris Nagorski would love to reverse that trend. He's got Portolato and then Dupuis up next. The 1-2. Strike 3 call. Chris Nagorski finds the upper inside corner of the strike zone.
9th strikeout of the day for Maple Leafs pitching staff. And again, you just got to think, you know, without the home runs that have been hit from this Welland Jackfish team, this game is very different. I mean, they haven't been hitting the ball all that hard outside of those home runs. And Castro just fell behind a couple hitters, and then Welland just took advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, they only have 5 of them, so.
Only.
Tyler Dupuis takes low and away from Chris Nagorski, so the count's 1-1. Not a lot left in either of these 2 bullpens as Dupuis jumps out of the way from a high fastball from Nagorski. The Welland Jackfish haven't had 3 games in 3 days like the Maple Leafs, but they've had 3 games in 4 days. They had 1 day off on Friday, then played on Saturday. Jackfish have the rest of the week off until Thursday when they'll take on the Hamilton Cardinals. That'll be in Welland. On the ground, Vinicio takes it on a hop, throws to first just in time. Well, Chris Nagorski trying to complete that first clean inning for the Maple Leafs right here. He's got the first two in order. Now he faces the left fielder, Caleb Fiersteak.
Fiersteak, the only guy in the lineup really that hasn't been able to get anything going. 3 straight strikeouts, 2 swinging, 1 looking. That was his last time up.
Takes just outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That one finds the zone, 1-1. Well, the Maple Leafs will go play the Kitchener Panthers. They play on Thursday as well. That'll be at Jack Couch Park in Kitchener. The 1-1. Fouled straight back. And the Maple Leafs lose today. They have a good chance at a struggling Kitchener Panthers team on Thursday. Leafs come into this game on a 2-game win streak. Caleb Fiersteak checks his swing and fouls it. And all of a sudden, the Maple Leafs, who started off was a 1-6 or 2-7, now 4-8. But they don't have any games in hand on anybody in the Intercounty Baseball League. No one has played as much as the Maple Leafs had to start the season.
These two teams have played the most games in the IBL so far. Leafs at 11, Welland at 10.
If the Jackfish win today, they will temporarily be in first place over the Barrie Baycats until they finish their game. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It was foul tipped in the glove of Justin Mara, and Chris Nagorski gets through a 1-2-3 inning as he shuts down the Jackfish in the top of the 7th. 7-3 Welland. We'll be right back here from Dominico Field. All right, back here at Dominico Field. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. Maple Leafs trailing by 4 to the Welland Jackfish, and they've got Ryan Dos Santos leading things off. Danny Howitt came in last inning in the bottom of the 6th. He's still on the mound for Welland.
Coming in, had a pretty good inning. Only give the 1 double to Marcus Connect.
Maple Leafs want to come back in this game. You think they need to get something going probably right about here.
Well, you think about it. You got 2 innings until one of the toughest arms in all the IBL is coming into the game.
Right.
You can see him standing there in the jackfished bullpen.
Here's the 2-1. Dos Santos fouls it off. Cole Murchison is on deck, and he cranked a fly ball to center field his last time up. So Ryan Dos Santos can get on base. It might provide an opportunity for the Maple Leafs. Yeah, it is oddly sunny at Dominico Field.
It's peering through.
It was pouring rain. We had a rain delay early on in the ball game. It just kind of drizzled for a while. It stopped since about an hour ago, and the sun is starting to peek through the clouds. Check swing by Dos Santos. No swing, says the third base umpire. So the count's now 2-2.
Dos Santos so far in the day, 2 walks, 1 hit, 1 for 1. Trying to get on base here again, pass the torch. Said it earlier, that's what the Maple Leafs did back in the 2nd inning to score all their runs.
Dos Santos takes low and just outside ball 4. Well, Ryan Dos Santos has walked twice today, 3 times today. He walked 3 times yesterday. That's 6 walks in his last 2 games.
Yeah, when you look at it, I mean, I was talking with him last night, and he said, I'm in a little bit of a slump. I can't hit the ball. I'm like, yeah, but you're walking. You're still getting on base. And he does it again here today.
Yeah, the Intercounty Baseball League is very much an on-base league. For the Maple Leafs, it's about getting on base and hitting home runs over the last couple of years. That's where they've found their success. And Dos Santos back to first base as Danny Howitt checks on him. It'll be a little bit harder to steal second base with Danny Howitt being a lefty, looking right at Ryan Dos Santos. Cole Murchison takes a strike. It counts 1-1.
You talked about last time out, Murchison, he had a great at-bat. He took the ball all the way to the wall. And he's just one of those power bats now in the Maple Leafs lineup that you're still waiting to come alive, still waiting for it to activate.
The 1-1. In the dirt. Blocked nicely there by Robert Mullen. Yeah, Cole Murchison has big-time power. Just playing just his 2nd game with the Maple Leafs. His debut against Guelph just yesterday. Here's the 2-1. And Murchison fists it off to the left side and bounces off the hill.
It's a tough at-bat when you got a lefty on the mound here. But again, the Maple Leafs are one of the teams that's just majority left-handed dominant.
Murchison lines it into the outfield, and it's down for a base hit. Welcome to the Intercounty Baseball League, Cole Murchison. That's his first hit in the IBL.
And that's, again, just a really good piece of hitting, you know. That ball looked like it was another breaking ball in the outer half, and Murchison shortened up the swing and just pokes it into left field softly for that first base hit.
So Jose Vinicio, who had a hit in his last at-bat, steps in. Vinicio squares to bunt and fouls it off. And the Maple Leafs do need 4 runs, so a bunt will, I guess, at least keep them out of a double play and move the runners up. But with Jose Vinicio bunting, brings another element in the possibility of him bunting for a base hit.
And, you know, kind of wonder if he's thinking about pulling the bunt down that first baseline. With the pitcher falling off the mound, he's falling off towards third.
And now he swings through a slow breaking ball from Danny Howitt. That was a crafty pitch. Danny Howitt probably thought Jose Vinicio was bunting again, so gave him an off-speed pitch. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs, ball 1. Chris Robinson on deck, and then Charlie Towers if it gets that far. The 1-2 pitch. If the Maple Leafs have a right-handed bat available off the bench, you'd wonder if they might think about pinch hitting. Here's the 2-2. Obviously that wouldn't be for Chris Robinson, who's up next. Most likely be for Charlie Towers.
Trying to find, I believe I saw a different Maple Leaf pick of the bat, number 35.
Yeah, Jamie Cabral.
Someone just got tossed on the side of Welland.
Well, hard to say who.
Well, that's the end for someone on the side of Welland. I'm not sure if it was a coach or just a...
Was it arguing balls and strikes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
Off
not
that,
a player.
That breaking ball that was on the inner half.
So a full count pitch. And Vinicio lines it into the outfield, and it's down for a base hit. Ryan Dos Santos was unsure whether that ball was going to fall or not, so started running back. So he'll end up at third base. And that's not overly impactful for the Maple Leafs, as they're looking for more than just one here. So Ryan Dos Santos moves up to third base, and the bases are loaded. Another hit for Jose Vinicio.
Yeah, and then again, that ball, Vinicio hit that pretty flush up the middle, and it started to tail back towards the center fielder. So it was a smart read by Dos Santos to kind of halt his momentum, say, hold on, I gotta make sure this does indeed land. And like you said, the time runs at the plate, so you don't need to run yourself into any outs if you're on the bases right now for the Maple Leafs.
Scott Gillespie coming into the game. We'll have more on that when we come back. So Scott Gillespie into the game for the Welland Jackfish. Now the 5th pitcher for Welland, and Scott Gillespie has had an excellent start to the season, although just in 4 1/3 innings pitched. He struck out 4, walked just 1, and has a 2.07 ERA. And he is going to try and help bridge the gap to Davey Mendez. First pitch from Gillespie, fouled off by Chris Robinson.
Robinson, each of his at-bats, again, he's worked counts. 6 pitches faced last time in his first one. He, I believe it was an 11-pitch at-bat. Trying to come through here for the Maple Leafs, get at least 1 back on the board.
Here's the 0-1. And this one's hit to center field. It's dropping, and it will fall. Ryan Dos Santos comes in to score. Cole Murchison up to third base, and the Maple Leafs have cut the lead to 3.
Great piece of hitting right there by Robinson. Gets an RBI back on the board for the Leafs, and now we'll have a pinch hitter coming in here for Charlie Towers.
The sun now peeking through the clouds and shining here at Dominico Field, and it's
might be a junior call-up. Lucas Alberti, I believe, was the name announced.
So this will be the first at-bat of the season for Lucas Alberti. And it comes in a big spot. Bases loaded, nobody out. So here's the pitch from Gillespie, and it's hit on the ground towards third, but foul. Lucas Alberti aggressive on his first swing in the IBL. Just 19 years old and comes out of the Ontario Blue Jays organization. The 1-0. Check swing, called, strike. Alberti checks the swing again, does not go around, says the first base umpire. The count's now 1-2.
And how would this be for Alberti to first IBL at bat, try to score 1 run here against a really good Welland Jackfish team?
Would love to get something in play and ideally in the air. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Gillespie. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. 1 away. Maple Leafs have any shot of coming back in this game. They need to get more than just 1 here. Bases loaded, nobody out. And they've got a hot hitter at the plate in Jordan Castaldo.
Yeah, Castaldo, he has hit the ball hard all day. Currently 1 for 2 at the plate, walked and scored in the second, but that flyout he had to center field, he just missed that ball. If he got everything, that was sailing over that center field wall. He's seeing the ball extremely, extremely well here.
Here's the first pitch to Castaldo. And it's inside, throw to third, and they got him. Cole Murchison gets picked off at third base, and that is going to be costly for the Maple Leafs as there are now 2 away.
That's the second time today we've seen errors on the base paths by the Maple Leafs, and that one is a backbreaker.
Now, this changes the complexion of the inning quite a bit, but if things were to get, or if Scott Gillespie were to get in any trouble, Davey Mendez looks pretty ready down there in the bullpen for the Jackfish.
Yeah, he was warming up almost instantaneously once Gillespie entered into the game.
Now, Gillespie doesn't have a track record of getting in trouble, so it probably won't happen, but the 3-batter minimum is in place. here as well this year in the Intercounty Baseball League. Jordan Castaldo is the second. Pitch over the outside corner, finds the zone. First and second, 2 outs. This changes Jordan Castaldo's approach at the plate quite a bit as well, with there being nobody on third base and no more outs to work with. Here's the 1-2. Check swing, did he go? Yes, says the second base umpire, and Jordan Castaldo is not happy about it. And now Sam Green has been tossed out of the ball game. Scott Gillespie was fired up on his way back to the Welland Jackfish dugout, as he seemed quite surprised that that was called strike 3. So the Maple Leafs get the bases loaded with nobody out, and they cash in just the 1 run. It's 7-4 Welland, as we'll be right back. Back here at Dominico Field, the Maple Leafs score just 1 run in the bottom of the 7th after having the bases loaded and nobody out a couple of times. And runners left on base sack is starting to become a storyline here for this Maple Leafs team.
Yeah, you look at this game by itself, 12 runners left on base, and I mean, they've had chance after chance. They just haven't been able to kind of finish off these innings, and unfortunately it just seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with how some of those innings have ended.
Greg Carrington is now into the game to pitch for the Maple Leafs, and Carrington gave up his first couple earned runs last time out. That was against the Hamilton Cardinals, but believe me, it was not his fault. He was the victim to some soft singles, and when it was all said and done, he'd only gone a third of an inning and given up 4 hits and 2 earned runs, but without giving up any kind of hard contact. So he'll have a chance at a bit of a redemption outing here against the Welland Jackfish, and he's got Tyson Gom at the plate to lead things off. Strike 3 called. Good start to the outing for Greg Carrington.
Looks like a pitch on the other half, off speed. That kind of just crossed over top.
Ethan Hunt, the number 9 hitter for Welland, steps to the plate. Pitch low and away.
Hunt walked once and he struck out swinging twice so far today.
Now he takes up and in from Greg Carrington. Carrington's a 2-pitch pitcher. He's got a fastball and a slider. Greg Carrington's got his fastball up over 85 miles an hour in the preseason. Some pretty good velocity for a guy that hadn't really pitched until this season. But he's always had a good arm in the outfield, so he's translating that onto the mound. And other than last outing, he's been quite effective for the Maple Leafs.
And I mean, yeah, he's an outfielder, so he's always had a good arm. It's just, you know, when you're transitioning to a pitcher, you've got to look at the control side of things.
Ethan Hunt disagreeing with that call. Now it's 3-2. It was 3-0, and now Greg Carrington has battled back with 2 strikes. Can he find the zone for a 3rd consecutive time here against Ethan Hunt? He did, but Hunt chopped it foul.
Looked more of a protect swing right there by Hunt.
Carrington will have to find the zone again. He's got the top of the order coming up after Hunt. Dawson Tweet on deck. The 3-2 pitch. And it's hit in the air. Not deep. Ryan Dos Santos dealing with some wind out there, but he keeps his composure, makes the catch. Well, John Salazzo chases a pigeon across the infield. Yeah, that pigeon has been making its way around the field. Now it's on the mound right beside Greg Carrington. He's in the line of fire there.
He is.
He's gonna get.
How scared do you think that pigeon is? Got chased by DR earlier, chased by Salazzo.
Yeah, and he's been watching Randy Johnson videos on in between innings.
Now he's coming up to give Carrington a pep talk.
He is right beside Greg Carrington. Swing and a miss, 1-1. He might steal the rosin bag.
Fly away with it.
The 1-1. That one misses outside. That time the pigeon startled by the windup by Carrington. 2-1. On the ground, foul. Dawson Tweet making a conscious effort to pull the ball with that pigeon standing out there at shortstop.
Animal safety, that's what we're all about here in the IBL.
That pigeon's in John Salazzo's head. He keeps looking over.
Oh, he's peering at him.
Tweet hits it in the air to center field. Catch made by Marcus Connect. John Salazzo still chasing the pigeon.
Yeah, the pigeon had enough. Pigeon is gone.
On his way back to the dugout. Great inning for Greg Carrington. 1, 2, 3 go the Welland Jackfish. Maple Leafs pitching has retired 6 consecutive Jackfish as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Back here at Dominico Field, and closing time has come in the 8th inning for the Welland Jackfish. Running out of pitchers in the bullpen, so they go to Davey Mendez here in the bottom of the 8th. He faces Justin Mara. Has had some success off of Davey Mendez as he fouls this one off. Last season, Justin Mara was about 2 feet from hitting a home run to left center field off of Mendez. Went the other way on a high fastball. Here's the 0-2. And it's popped up, but it's behind home plate and out of play.
And again, we talk about it all the time with Davey Mendez and what he has. He has that plus fastball, but it's a very flat fastball. And what I mean by that is it doesn't drop, doesn't move. It's just wherever he puts it, that's where it's going to go. And sometimes hitters, they'll predict where the ball will run off to. And it's hard to say with Mendez.
The 0-2 on the ground foul. Mara battling here behind in the count. It's a fastball that almost defies gravity as it comes into the plate. See that a lot with guys with really high spin rates. Swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball, strike 3.
This is just the kind of pitcher Davey Mendez is and why he is basically the most dominant arm in the IBL when it comes to pitchers in the bullpen. I mean, he just does not induce any hard contact. If he has, it's a very rare feat.
Now, this is one of the batters and one of the very few batters, if any, that have hit a home run off of Davey Mendez. That's Marcus Connect, and he swings and misses at the first pitch. Back in 2021, I believe, in the playoffs, Marcus Connect and Jordan Castaldo both hit back-to-back home runs off of Davey Mendez. Counts 1-1 now on Connect. Here's the 1-1. Usually you don't have who's hit a home run off of who just off the top of your head, but when it's Davey Mendez, there's not a lot of people to choose from that have hit a long ball off him. So here's the 1-2 to Marcus Connect. And it's over the outside corner, strike 3 called.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just such a short list because of how dominant Davey Mendez is. And it almost seems just easy for him when he comes into games. You know, when you have this kind of high leverage arm and this type of closer coming in for your team, you just have the utmost confidence.
John Salazzo steps in now and takes strike 1. Ryan Dos Santos on deck if Salazzo can get on. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball slipped out of the hand of Mendez, frustrated as that one sailed outside. The 1-1. Salazzo takes low, 2-1. Last time Davey Mendez gave up an earned run was on September 2nd last year against Toronto. John Salazzo on the ground to first base. Big high hop. And that'll do it. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Davey Mendez. John Salazzo Grounds out to first base. As we head to the ninth, the Welland Jackfish trying to tack on to their 3-run lead. Greg Carrington comes out for a second inning of work for the Maple Leafs. Got the Jackfish 1-2-3 last inning, and then a diving attempt by John Salazzo is in vain as that one gets into the outfield. Leadoff single for Brandon Hupe.
This is probably the most dangerous part of this Welland Jackfish lineup, the 2-3-4. I mean, I guess you could throw in 5 there with Mateo Porcelato. These guys have just been on fire so far today.
Brings the new Westminster, BC native Stephen Moretto to the plate, already with 2 home runs in the game. 2 of the 5 that the Jackfish have hit. Takes low, ball 1. Stephen Moretto played 4 years of Division I baseball, playing for the Sacramento State Hornets. Swing and a miss. Counts now 1-1. That one bounces in the dirt. Throw to first base. Not in time. And Justin Mara has had some success throwing out runners today. He's got a pickoff and a couple caught stealings, but even the throws where he hasn't got a guy, he's been on the money today. It's 2-1 from Carrington, way up and in, 3-1.
Yeah, you don't want to leave anything over the plate here for Moretto, who's just, again, been on fire with the bat today.
So is Robert Mullen, who has a home run. He's on deck. It's a 3-1 from Carrington. Fouled off. The count runs full. Robert Mullen, who's on deck, won the Reed Buck Memorial Trophy in 2022. We give that one to the IBL's best hitter. And I'm not even sure he's the best hitter on the Jackfish this year. swing and a miss, strike 3. How about Greg Carrington battling back into the count? Gets another strikeout. That's his second of the outing.
Fantastic job done by Carrington as he's coming on. Sat down the side last inning, 1, 2, 3, and working pretty well so far here in this one.
So Greg Carrington is going to face Robert Mullen for the third time already in his short IBL career. I don't know if he's faced anyone in the Intercounty Baseball League more than once, but he's already faced Mullen 3 times. The first one came a year ago in his pitching debut when he wasn't really a pitcher. Delivers high to Mullen, so the count runs to 1-1. And Robert Mullen demolishes the ball to left field, but it's way foul. Robert Mullen last played affiliated baseball in 2019 with the Stockton Ports. High A ball.
28 pitches here for Carrington.
Mullen hits it in the air to center field, not deep.
Call it.
Coming over is Ryan Dos Santos, who calls off the center fielder. Marcus Connect makes the catch. There's 2 away. And Greg Carrington is getting pretty close to being right back on track after giving up a couple earned runs in his last outing.
I mean, he looks really good. Both pitchers are hitting all quadrants of the zone right now, and really the only hard contact that was given up was the base hit to Hoope.
So Mateo Porcelato at the plate. First pitch low from Greg Carrington.
Porcelato last time up went down looking, but I mean, other than that, he has just hit the ball all over the park today. 3 hits, 2 singles, and the big home run.
Takes a strike, counts now 1-1. Hoope takes his lead off first base. The 1-1. In there for a strike. 1-2. Greg Carrington, a pitch away here from getting through 2 scoreless innings. That one just misses. Two and two on the right fielder, Mateo Porcelato. Carrington trying to hold the Jackfish right here. And he just missed outside. The count's full.
Looked like a good pitch on the other half, just didn't get the call. Might have just missed the black by maybe an inch.
If the Maple Leafs score some runs in the bottom half, looks like Dean Christidis is getting loose. This one's hit to center field, pretty deep. Marcus Connect back, he jumps and makes the catch. What a play by the center fielder, Marcus Connect, and it gets Greg Carrington and the Maple Leafs through another good inning. To the bottom of the 9th we go. Last chance coming up for the Maple Leafs. They'll have to do it against Davey Mendez. Davey Mendez back on the mound for the Welland Jackfish. Ryan Santos at the plate. Here's the 1-0. It's inside 1-1.
DeSantos, one of the very few guys that has had some success against Davey Mendez. Got on base against him a couple years ago.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Had a pretty good cut at that one, fouls it off. And that one actually might have broken a window.
I thought it hit a yeah, I'm pretty sure it hit a house.
Yeah, that hit someone's house and is up on their front porch, but I think it went off their front window first.
Mail's here. You got a new baseball.
Yeah. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball just missed. So the Maple Leafs need 3 runs. Davey Mendez has given up 3 runs in his IBL career.
Total.
All of them to the Maple Leafs, though.
Oh, okay.
Gave up 1 last year and 1 in his debut season, and both of them in the playoffs, too.
So you're telling me you have the script?
No. Swing and a miss, strike 3. I'm telling you, Davey Mendez has been one of the more dominant pitchers ever in the intercounty baseball.
Number 44, Cole Murchison.
I mean, what he's been able to do over his career, it's just been genuinely impressive. You just gotta, you gotta tip your cap to Davey Mendez.
He's never given up an earned run in the regular season.
Oh my Lord.
Although on the other side of things, that was the line of Dustin Richardson for a while. Had a streak where he had 21 consecutive outings where he didn't give up a run. Both Mendez and Richardson. Mendez obviously a lot earlier in his career than Dustin Richardson, but they're both cut from the same cloth. You're lucky to get a hit off them. Cole Murchison just took a huge rip at that Davey Mendez fastball and fouled it straight back.
I mean, hey, why not? Go up there ripping.
Here's the 1-1. So yeah, I can confirm no one has ever hit a home run then off of Davey Mendez, other than the 2 back-to-back home runs in the playoffs by Jordan Castaldo and Marcus Connect. No one else has got a run.
Yeah.
The 2-1. In the air, this one's to left field, and it falls just foul. Cole Murchison battling here. He's got a 2-2 count. Infield and outfield played straight away. Maple Leafs down to their final 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And Murchison hits it on the ground. That one's gobbled up by Dawson Tweed. He throws to first in time, 2 away.
Mendez just making quick work of this Maple Leaf squad. 5 batters faced, 3 strikeouts.
So either Cole Murchison is using Jose Venicio's bats, or Jose Venicio is using Cole Murchison's bats, because Jose Venicio just picked up the bat off the ground, and that's the one he's using.
It's the 3rd time he's done it so far today. He's been doing it all day long.
And you'd think with Murchison being the newcomer to the team, those are Jose Venicio's bats, but we can't be sure. Venicio pops it up foul to the left side. Counts 0-1. The 1-0 for Mendez. Up and away.
Everybody clap your hands.
So with a win, the London Majors will move into first place in the Intercounty Baseball League over the Barrie Bay Cats. Welland Jackfish, I should say. On the ground. Big high hop for Dawson Tweed. He flips to first, and that's the ball game. The Welland Jackfish beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 7-4 in a game where they were in flight early. Back-to-back home runs in the first inning, and offensively really never looked back.
Yeah, I mean, the closest the Leafs came was that big second inning where they batted around, almost tied it up. But again, it just kind of seemed like the Maple Leafs were just shooting themselves in the foot all game long. Every time they rallied to try to come back, something would go wrong. But ultimately, Welland just powered through it today.
Maple Leafs are back in action against the Kitchener Panthers. That game goes on Thursday as they try and keep the momentum going. A loss here against the Welland Jackfish, but coming off of 2 wins and trying to turn things around here in the 2024 IBL season. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon, and we'll see you next weekend.